We're okay here. We're okay here.
Okay.
Now, Shane, Floyd, we went over the rules in the dressing room.
Okay.
I expect a clean, tough fight. Obey my commands at all times.
Okay.
What I say, you must obey. Good luck. Touch him up.
Floyd Mayweather.
Or will Shane read Mayweather for a while and box? Most believe that he will try to pressure Mayweather and immediately get him into a physical fight.
Step back, fellas. Step back. Here we go.
And it starts with a couple of little body shots inside by Mosley. Jabbing to the body.
Work out, work out, work out. Come on, work out, fellas. Stop, stop. Step back clean. There we go.
Mayweather with his left hand below his waist. Fights in a very loose, fluid style. Used his jab much more in his last assignment against Marquez than has normally been the case. Mosley starting out with the jab to the body. Well, Mayweather, as usual, looks very relaxed. And that's part of what helps him to be so quick. And there's that right hand counterpunch over the top, which is his best offensive weapon. Mosley's glove touches the canvas. Kenny Bayless rules it a slip. Mosley was trying to land a big right hand across the top. He wants to touch gloves. Mayweather wants to punch.
Mayweather gives the appearance of wanting to fight toe-to-toe, but of course he's very good defensively at close quarters as well as from a distance.
Mosley got a jab to Mayweather's chin.
Stronger to me. Looks a little younger and better coordinated and stronger.
Well, some of that is just the sheer relaxation, right, Emmanuel?
No, he just physically, his body's just much more firm and compact.
Jab by Mayweather.
And you're right, he is a lot more relaxed than Shane.
Mayweather recently has been in this position more often. Shane wanted this so badly. It's hard to imagine a fighter in more of a want-to position than Shane tonight. And that means passion, but it can also mean being pent up. Mosley going back to the body with his jab.
Here you see Mosley throw a punch, a right hand, barely missed the right hand and lost his balance. And, you know, nobody's made that much of a solid contact in the entire round. But still.
23, Mosley 11 out of 34. Harold Letterman gave the first round to Sugar Shane.
I didn't see much of anything happening in the first round, frankly. I called it even.
Don't push, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They're standing close enough to punch, but not doing much of it.
Shane is usually a little bit more aggressive, but I think the feints and the hand speed of Mayweather's got him a little in with.
Well, you heard Nassim Richardson between rounds saying, I need you to settle down.
Yeah,
touching on the point we made in the first round.
Yeah.
He looks wound up and tight.
There's
a hard right hand. And that may be the hardest punch that Floyd Mayweather has taken in recent years. He's smiling about it, but Shane Mosley landed a right cross, and crunchingly so. Mayweather's trying to ward him off. Mosley's trying to follow up.
the same right hand that he missed with earlier and fell down, he landed it that time.
It was timing. He threw it at just the right moment. There's another right hand.
Mayweather get hit by a right hand, the way he holds his head behind his shoulder.
Mosley's loosening up. The crowd is here. Mosley, another big right hand. Mayweather's knees buckled on the second right hand. Mosley drives him into the ropes. Tries to go to the...
I think he's hurt. He's going to hit in his legs. The legs don't rise.
His balance isn't as good as normal.
He's hurt. But he's doing one thing smart. He's tying his man up. No, he's hurt.
Not sure what Kenny Bayless said. Shane Mosley responded to it. This chant is Mosley, Mosley, Mosley. Hard body shot by Sugar Shane. Two good left-hand counters by...
Work out, fellas. Work out.
Yeah.
Well, the scoring of round one now becomes very interesting. Because if the judges...
The first one that got him in trouble, right on the chin, jab to the stomach and right hand to the chin. That's what started the problems. And then later on you see him land another right hand, not so clean, but it landed just enough to hurt him because of the fact that he was already dizzy, right in the temple area.
Almost panicked.
In the round, Mosley 18 out of 47. The big number is he threw 47 punches.
Watch the glove, watch the glove, watch the glove.
I don't think there's any question that he's a better boxer than Shane Mosley.
No, but he's not boxing. He's actually fighting him. I think he just physically should raise him how strong he is looking. He's really not boxing. He wants to get in and fight with him.
There's the fighting, and now he lands a chopping right hand after his left hook. Mosley, showing his competitive spirit, wants to get back. Another right hand for Mayweather, who's coming back well from the difficulty of round 2. Round 3 has belonged to Floyd.
But Shane seems to be very generous and seems to be having a problem dealing with Floyd's speed.
Work out, fellas, work out, work out, work out.
Mayweather probably surprised. I'm sorry, Mosley probably surprised that Mayweather
All right, here we go.
is the aggressor.
Definitely Floyd has changed it up in this round, and I think it shows you his competitive response. I think he was embarrassed that he got hit by a right hand in round 2, and he wanted to dominate this round. Partially blocking the left hook there. We're back to the war of nerves, as Mayweather has made an adjustment, and now Mosley seems to be trying to figure out how to deal with that adjustment. Floyd has had an accurate punching round. Mosley's defense, or I check it, Mayweather's defense has again, but
He landed the clean, effective shots with that left, the left jab to the body. In round 2, Mosley won it big. He landed the power shots. But in round 3, Floyd Mayweather planted his feet, would throw the left jab, and then that hard right hand. And I mean hard right hand. There's a lot of power getting off first. Either he gets off with a left hook or he gets off with a straight right. 2-1, Shane Mosley.
Already Mosley has produced some fireworks against Mayweather. Mayweather watchers will remember that a few years ago here in Las Vegas, Zab Judah got in some shots in the first 3 rounds before he was effectively subdued by Mayweather's defense in the middle rounds, and then late in the fight, Mayweather was toying with him.
Would be utilizing a lot more would be his left jab, but he's not jabbing that much, and therefore actually Mayweather's out jabbing him for the most part, even though he doesn't jab that much. But Shane should be working his jab a lot more.
Is it because Mayweather's been able to counter his jab?
I don't know, whatever it is, but he hasn't been throwing it that much. And just the speed of Mayweather in his hand and his physical strength is just still amazing me. And Shane is looking old to me. His body doesn't have that tone, and his punches doesn't have that the power.
And Floyd is fighting more offensively at this stage of the fight than is usually the case. Particularly, he stepped it up in round 3 to respond to Mosley's assault with a couple of right hands in round 2.
I think, Jim, that's because he believes he's the superior boxer and that he can capitalize on Mosley's mistakes or slowness. And that's why he's staying as close to him as he is.
For a reason, Mosley is no longer throwing much.
No, he's actually fighting Mayweather style now. A lot of feint, hesitation, jerky moves, and that is what Floyd wanted. Floyd has got him fighting right in the mode that he wants.
Yeah, you know, when fighters are used to being the fastest guy in the ring, and then they come up against a fighter who is as fast or faster, it changes.
Here you see Shane coming in with his body in a position where it shouldn't be really, and he's getting caught with a right hand by Floyd right over his low left shoulder.
But when you can't see the target or you're worried about the counter coming back, it's much harder to release your hands.
Go hold it. No. Hold. Let him up.
It's a good sparring session so far.
Look out.
Good left hook by Mayweather. You know, that's one of the two punches he throws with regularity, the left hook and the right cross. Most often they are opportunity punches thrown at openings that the opponent creates. His timing is so good, and he's so quick, and he lands that way. Like that.
No. Keep it clean, fellas. There we go.
You almost wonder if Mosley damaged his own rhythm and fight plan while landing those two big right hands in the second round.
Yes, but I don't think so. I think Floyd had just drawn him into fighting his pattern of thinking man's game, and
Work out,
and
fellas. Work out.
Shane just lost his own rhythm. And he came to Floyd looks way much stronger, much more sturdy, and much faster than his, and more comfortable. He's right in his comfort zone where he wants to fight, which is exactly what Shane should have tried to change and not let happen.
Watch the elbow. Work out.
What can he do about it?
I don't think he can do anything, to be honest. I think that Mayweather's physically too fighting, and maybe Shane would have been the physical fighter.
Work out. Keep him in front. Keep him in front.
Mayweather's been making, Mosley's been making Mayweather a little wild.
Just where Floyd's favorite punch is at the pullback check, left hook, pulling Mosley in and catching him coming in with a pullback hook, or either hits a little lunging left hook where he loads up and springs all the those. He very seldom puts combinations together. You don't see Floyd's going to be in balance, and you want to make sure he's going to be back in the defensive mode if he misses. But
Well, he's
That was a stunning shot from Mayweather right on the button.
again over the left hand, which Shane holds low.
Holds low. Because Floyd is getting closer and closer. He's trying to get closer so he can land the right hand easier.
Another stunning right hand by Mayweather and the big left hook. He's landing shots cleanly inside.
But you know, Floyd has landed the punches, but he never pushed more than 2 shots. Very seldom he's going to do. But Shane is coming in and committing himself. But for whatever reason, his hands seem to be real loose and real rubbery. His punches are not tight and compact. Very loose. And Floyd's are very much more compact and more powerful. Much more body weight.
Shane Mosley spent 6 or 7 weeks in the gym training to fight Andre Berto in a fight that was scheduled for January 30 and went by the wayside after the earthquake in Haiti. Then, of course, he got back into the gym in a hurry to get Mayweather Sr. waiting in the wings, hoping, some say, to train his son again. At the very least, he offers that he's available.
Here you see Floyd land typical shots the way he lands short, clean, accurate punches. And the closer and closer that he gets to Shane, the more and more he's going to land those punches.
To Floyd Mayweather. Jim, I tell you, he gets off first, he blinds you with that left jab, and then he puts that straight right hand in there like an arrow, hits Mosley on the jaw with it. He really good, nice combination puncher. Piled up a lot of points with that lead right hand. I mean, you know, Mayweather gets off first all the time, and I think that's what does it in the eyes of the judges. He sort of blinds Mosley, and then he whacks you with a hard right hand. 4-2, Floyd Mayweather.
Emmanuel,
Not even closing his hand. His punches are too loose. He's doing the jingling punches, I call them. And Mayweather's got much more power and explosive going.
where's the left hook to the body with which Mosley terrorized opponents in the lightweight division? Is it just impossible to land?
Totally off track. and he can't get his rhythm to go on.
I'm trying to see where the power shots are. I don't see much power. I just think Floyd is out-quicking him and out-boxing him.
Well, hands, if it's a body punch, if it's an uppercut, it's a power shot. By CompuBox definition, anything other than a jab.
Those are good shots.
I think he's lost respect for Shane's punching power, too. That's why he's coming in now. You realize that Shane is punching with a loose wrist. His hands are not even closed. And so he's becoming more and more aggressive.
I think most nights Floyd Mayweather isn't thinking knockout. He's thinking of winning every round. Just allows it to happen according to his own skill level. He may be thinking knockout now, because he's found it so easily to hit Mosley with right-hand shots.
Yeah, he's still a very, very cautious fighter. Still.
No, watch your head, fellas.
Mosley redoubling his effort here, trying to throw combinations. What about more right-hand leads, Emmanuel, since the jab?
Right hand is better than the jab, but all of it is loose. Nothing is really tight and compact where you have his really tight body weight behind it.
You heard Nassim Richardson there, Emmanuel, asking Shane Mosley to wake up and get back in the fight. I sense that he's already worried about his fighter's ability to withstand the punishment as the fight goes on.
I agree, and I'm looking at the expression in his face between rounds. He's not comfortable with the situation, meaning Shane at all. And Floyd seems to be totally relaxed, cool.
No. That's a hard warning, sir. Don't do it. Here we go.
Okay,
Keep it
Kenny
clean.
Bayless is warning Shane Mosley
Keep it clean.
for simply manhandling Floyd Mayweather. Two fighters are talking to each other, and while Shane's talking, Mayweather hits him with a left hook and a right hand. And Shane's still talking.
That's what he should do. I mean, it's not time to have a conversation.
Absolutely right. This isn't time to talk. But Mayweather's talking along with Mosley. They are chatting with each other in the middle of the ring. You can bet it's not friendly.
I'm a little surprised. I hate to say this because I never expected this, but Shane is looking his age in this fight. I never thought I would see it this much. Totally different from the fighter that I saw that fought Margarito.
Well, Margarito may have been his last hurrah.
Yeah.
You can stop the clock, but you can't stop time.
Big and strong. Mosley was far faster than Margarito. That is not the situation he's looking at tonight.
Dead simple, and there's no one particular punch.
Watch the elbow. Watch the elbow.
Announce table. This is something that happens when he begins to feel as though he's completely in control.
Work out, fellas. Work out. Come on,
Most
work out,
fans
work
on the
out.
far side of the ring are standing up. I think that's because of the
Watch your head, watch your head.
skirmishes that we've had in this round. The two physical altercations that Kenny Bayless is working with.
While you see Shane complaining, he gets hit with a right hand by Mayweather, like he's been getting hit with so many of them. Each round, Mayweather gets hit a back.
For him or not, they were picking Mayweather to win. So I don't get that this is something unexpected. I think what is unexpected is that Mayweather has stood his ground. He hasn't been just trying to box and get out of the way as he usually does. He accurately scouted Shane for not being a pure boxer and is taking advantage.
Stop.
That was a perfect example. Shane threw about 5 of them little jiggly punches, and Floyd threw one little short right hand and did more damage than he did with about 7 of those little pit.
Heads. Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
Good left hook by Floyd Mayweather. The right hand brushed across Mosley's face. Mosley missing over the top with the right hand.
Are Hale Mosley's. Just not getting there.
Work out. Watch your heads, fellas. Work out.
As this fight
Work out.
winds down, more and more people are starting to think about Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Here you see Floyd Mayweather with a nice counter, short right hand. Roll his shoulder, come back with the counter right hand. Here he comes back with another right hand. Shane doesn't have any defense, and his reflexes are not sharp enough to get away from those right.
Got Floyd winning 7 rounds in a row. I mean, he's just dominating this fight with that hard lead right hand, with the left jabs. I mean, when the guy gets off first, he kills Shane Mosley. When he gets off first, just like that, he just stops Mosley. But even when he doesn't get off first, he backs up, times him, sets it up, and throws that straight hard right hand.
At least 25, maybe 30 Sugar Shane Mosley fights. I'm guessing that in all those fights, you'd be hard-pressed to find any other round that was as desultory for him as 3 out of 45. There's a landed punch for Mosley, and Mayweather comes right back with the counter right hand. Body shot for Mayweather. Mosley ducking and slipping.
An opponent that the public and the media and the experts would accept. That if he took a lesser opponent, that it would seem he was ducking Pacquiao. And that's why he took Mosley, and he is proving his point right here.
Mosley has landed some leather in this round. Couple of right hands, landed a straight left jab there. He just hasn't gotten anything solid on Mayweather.
Have you?
No, I never saw the expression on his face to have been defeated. He doesn't have any confidence at all as compared to what he's had before in the past. The only thing he's got is a little fire that he's always had. If he gets hit, he'll fire right back.
Crowd is now rising in the excitement of watching Mayweather do his thing and wondering whether he's going to consider the possibility of going for a finish.
And the referee, Kenny Bayless.
Anything that can do to be a real problem for Mayweather right now.
Mosley's had some late knockouts, notably against Ricardo Mayorga a couple of years ago. Mayweather, how many knockouts there are. His thing is to outbox you. And he's done that clearly against Shane Mosley.
It's interesting that he's beaten Mosley in a more dominating way than he had with Oscar Weiss. And De La Hoya gave Mayweather a better fight.
Some people believe De La Hoya won the second fight against Mosley. This group in particular was adamant about it that night. And, of course, one difference is, a lot of people say if you want to fight Floyd and you want to have any success at all, there's a right hand by Mayweather.
There you go, rubber wrist. He doesn't have any power in his jab at all.
And just to follow the point through Larry's comparison, De La Hoya did have an excellent jab.
De La Hoya one of the greatest jabs in boxing.
So that's the difference, and maybe that's the reason that De La Hoya was not as one-sidedly beaten as Mosley appears to be at this moment.
No.
Because of that jab, and it was only when he began missing with the jab and then eventually stopped throwing it that Mayweather took over the fight.
At the end of the first round, I saw right away then that Floyd was going to take over the fight. Even though he'd been hurt that round, I saw he survived it, and I could just see his coordination, his focus, his eyes, his intensity is way better than Shane is.
Another hard right hand by Mayweather. Mosley is swinging and missing. I don't know if he's done what Naz Richardson told him to do, move his head, step over. I haven't seen it, if he's done it. I don't know that I've ever seen a trainer make the fighter verbally repeat the... Well, let's see if Shane Mosley has plan Z.
in front.
Mayweather's round-by-round winning streak ever since the second round continues on Harold Letterman's unofficial scorecard.
Up, bring him up,
Left
Shane.
hook to the body. I've been looking for it all night. Shane Mosley finally threw one. Good left hook by Mayweather. Mosley had to hold on for a moment. Mayweather was able to get in a shaft of a right hand too.
Come on, work out. Stop.
Another left.
Stop.
So you have to assume that once this is over, all the talk will be about the subject we spent the first part of the year discussing, or the latter part of last year discussing, and that's Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. The difference would be speed.
Well, Pacquiao's pretty fast himself.
That's the point.
Obviously.
Is he faster than Floyd? That's the question going into that fight. Ever since the moment in 1992, when Vernon Forrest upended him in the Olympics, where he was expected to be shoulder to shoulder as a star with Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley has been fighting for recognition, fighting boxing saw him as. This was the chance. This was the forum. But the question now, did it just come too late? Or is it a situation where Shane Mosley, like every other one of the opponents who preceded him, discovers that Floyd Mayweather's skill level, Floyd Mayweather's conditioning, Floyd Mayweather's application to the sport is at this moment unique. And he stands alone. Look back, first round was a war of nerves, not much happened. Shane Mosley landed that big right hand in the second round, and Mayweather immediately grabbed the right hand. Then, when Mosley landed a second right hand, watch Mayweather's front knee buckle. And at that moment, the crowd went wild, thinking that Shane Mosley was proving that he had a big chance in the fight. But in rounds 3 and 4, Mayweather stepped up and made the point emphatically that round 2 was an anomaly. And the pattern of the fight would be the same movie we've seen several times before. The faster, more well-coordinated fighter using his defense to frustrate the opponent and using his rapid punching offensive skill to land when he wants to. Throwing only when he wants to, not trading, boxing, selecting.
From the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Adelaide Bird and Dave Moretti score the bout 119, 109. Robert Hoyle, 118 to 110. All to the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Floyd Money